Listen, I'm learning that there are folks out here who are going to see your potential, observe your potential, take an interest in your potential, and would dare to even cultivate it and program it. Listen to me carefully. And program it. Because based on their perception and their perspective, there's an already calculated or estimated tends to what can fulfill or what can be fulfilled through your potential. Absolutely for their gain, for their interest. And while there will be promissory notes or seemingly intent to buy you into the idea that they are interested in seeing you elevated, seeing you become, seeing you be esteemed, the back end to that has intentions that may very well be within the exclusion of what was promised. And I'm saying this because you need to become even more aware of your surrounding people that are around you. You need to become aware of your circle. Because sometimes, though many will have good intentions, hear me well, their motives may not always be pure. And there are some with good motives, but their intentions are not always pure. See the difference? Hear the difference. Learn the difference. Do you understand? Because when you don't see your potential and the ability within it to become the driving force that allows you to gain opportunity, to have access into doors, and to have that space where you are worthy to be seen, to be heard, to be known. You are worthy to receive credibility. You are worthy to receive that which highlights and gives your potential the opportunity to breathe, to live, to move, to have that momentum in time as needs be. Because what you've invested to have your potential be exercised to truly advance your life, it is worth investing in. And there are some with some folks, not some, sorry. There are some with eyesight, discerning, insight, spiritual discernment. And I'm not just referring to those who might be great candidates for ministry, leadership, those who are called in the fivefold department. I'm referring to people in general, whether you're in business, whether you're in education, whether you are in the music industry, it doesn't matter where and what you do, because potential becomes the bait for capital, for investment, for purpose. Potential becomes the next new brand. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Potential becomes the next highlight. Potential sells. Do you understand? Take, for instance, the emerging athlete, the guy with the prodigy for basketball, the IQ that is high. You get what I'm saying? LeBron James, Luka Doncic, you understand? I mean, Kevin Durant, all these guys. Take, for instance, athletes, athletics, Usain Bolt, you get what I'm saying? Shelley and Fraser Price, do you understand? All these Olympians, you get what I'm saying? The celebrities who are in the music industry, Usher, Chris Brown, Michael Jackson, see what I'm saying? Janet Jackson, see what I'm saying? Prince, Prodigy. You're the next big Juanita Bynum, you're the next big Cindy Trim, you're the next big thing, so to speak. You understand? The Rockefellers, see what I'm saying? Even look at Donald Trump, president. that part is hilarious. But potential sells. The next great footballer, Ronaldo, Messi. See what I'm saying? Potential sells. And there are those who are going to be within the scoping eye that is going to scout. Yes, even in ministry, even leaders are guilty of this. And if I may touch on leadership right here in ministry, many are within this sphere right here that pertains to acquiring the next son, the next daughter. Right there. And sometimes once you are chosen with the intent to become the next big thing, hear me well, with the mic in your hand, with the well-decorated salary, promissory notes of all kinds, but it does not escape where your potential, the ability, the gifts, the anointing has to go through the bleeding to rise to the occasion, because there are expectations, and behind expectations there are esteems. You understand what I'm saying? Potential. That which gives rise to be the next big thing. The promissory note on that is like a key card that you can press. If I'm going to buy a new car, if I'm going to buy a new home, I can press it because the oil that's in it is guaranteed. The prophetic accuracy, do you understand? The apostolic nature to build. The teacher whose mind is brilliant and who can exegese a text. You understand? The pastor who shepherds with the heart of the Father and love beyond degree, who can draw in people. Yeah, the evangelist who can hold a mic and see heaven fall and salvation becomes the net that pulls in souls. Hear me real good today. There are many out here who are scoping because the contributions thereof will facilitate the populace, their economy, their empire. I feel Jesus right there. You guys need to sit down and study life. Study the momentum of life, the algorithm of life. I'm saying something very powerful here. Sit down and study life. Do you understand me? Don't sit down out here and just be naive because you think you have reached and attain a PhD, and you think that is all there is based on education and what can be harnessed through education. No, learn to sit down and study life. Because the contributions they get through your potential is always within the intent and the motive to succeed upon, build upon, harness. And even though you might be within a range where you get to use the mic at times, you get to be on the platforms at times, you get to carry the handbag, the towel, you get to offer a glass of water, you get to serve at some of the most interesting spaces, even up close and personal. Nehemiah served as a cupbearer. And it seemed almost right at times when you can serve to such a degree. But until the day comes when your potential is worn and strained and exhausted, and the promises made are not in any way fulfilled. And because of the exhaustion, and sometimes we will look at the fact that, oh, I'm just tired and our humanity is just going through. Sometimes your humanity becomes the signal points, the red flags, the red lights. When it begins to feel the stress, the pressure, because the weight of what is required through your servitude begins to speak. And you need to listen. I get it that we are all trying to be the best sons and daughters of God. But I've learned through my lifespan in ministry, over 20 years plus. Maybe young, but I've been in ministry for a while. I'm not going to proclaim that I've been in ministry for donkey years. No, just for a little while. And I'm learning that when you take an inventory into becoming a pure vessel, and that intent draws you into the revelation of the Son of God you are going to get noticed. And sometimes noticed by the eyes that you would think would, Lord, hold your best interest at heart. Hold your value at heart. And sometimes there are those who would come in very genuinely meaningful. But then ethics become a problem. Then your loyalty, as it may seem, begin to draw upon recognizing where their heart lives. And I'm not saying that in trying to handle or trying to deal with that exposure is the best key. No, no, you got to be careful. You got to be wise. You got to be mature. Because I understand even in that which may drive you to become rebellious. And oh God, have I been rebellious to some degree? Oh yes, I have. Yeah, don't look at my pretty face and get twisted. There's another side of me when I'm provoked to such an extent, an extreme that, yeah, the weight begins to speak and I have to pay attention. Because there's one thing I'm not going to do is falsify any document on my life, any record of my life that gives anybody the legal right to sonship in me just like that. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. Because first of all, I'm a son of God. And my revelation in that comes through the Christ the revealed one himself, the anointed one himself, that which penetrates my spirit to the deepest degree of knowledge, there is of him. That which penetrates my spirit in the truth thereof is of him. And nobody get a right to that, just like that. And I'm saying this to help most of you that are young, upcoming, and as I've said over and over, you're going to encounter spaces where, you know, your creation is going to hear on the sonship thereof, Romans 8, you know, all the way from verse 18 down to 25. You're gonna experience that groaning where the sonship in you is going to long for attention. It's going to long for someone to notice you. It's going to be within a longing, excuse me, where you want to be heard, where you wish for someone to take note of you. And trust me, it is okay. But there are times when you have to be wise according to the hands you fall in. Because people out here, leaders out here, many are not pure. Many are not whole. Many appear to be when they're not. Many, though they may have good interests, they could only go so far, do so much. And sometimes they don't even know how to tell you, this is all I can do. Sometimes they, even in the processes, they don't even know how to say, I'm sorry. And I'm saying, based on the fact that you have to act mature and be reasonable, because sometimes you have to take into consideration their humanity as well. And this is why I said exposure may not be the best option. You have to know how to reconcile. You have to know how to give grace. And I'm learning that more and more, because my humanity has been speaking a lot. And then there's a whole lot that I'm dissecting, a whole lot that I'm looking through, even through the pages of the old man. Yeah, the old version of me. As I remember saying to God when I stepped into the age of 46 this year, May 12th. And I remember saying to God, I don't want to have any relationship with what 45 years of me was like. I want to begin a brand new level of discovery to me. I want to begin to step in a different page of what I never knew, but I have to come into the knowledge of. And whatever it takes for me to learn that new content, that new context, that new dimension, that new realm, I want your spirit to begin to process me from my mind. First, the thoughts that I have, what is with inside them, what needs to be extracted, what needs to be, thrown out, what I need to let go, what I need to discard. I want to begin to look into the archive therein and sift out, because what I'm left with based on the wisdom, it must be able to propel me further than. These are the real conversations I have with myself, to be honest. Because if I want to be the truest version of me, if I want to live in the most authentic, and I remember someone saying to me, I think it was the first Sunday of this month, because I had to minister, through a Zoom, service, and there was a lady, no, it was a Tuesday night, Bible study period, and this lady said to me, well, more than one person have said it, I love the way you are authentic. You are raw, but you are real. And that says a lot. When you allow people to have that type of intimacy in that space, and they can identify, they can relate, it brings a more teachable type of concept. And I'm loving this. Don't stop being authentic. Don't stop being the true you. And I went into a space in my mind afterwards, like for a couple of days, and I'm like, whoa, Jesus. That speaks loud to me. Because there were times when I was trying so hard to let others see this side of me. And I know I've been talking for a while, and I don't want to go beyond the next 5 minutes here with you with the mic to the most, probably 20-25 minutes, because I want you to get this. And if you notice, I'm talking very calmly, very soberly. And when I'm like this, that means I have processed a lot. Okay? And just thinking and reflecting on what she said has drawn me into the whole thought of how have I allowed my potential to be used, even within the hands of men. And I start thinking around all of that, even up to this morning, laying on the bed, because I didn't want to get out of bed. Sunday mornings is like my safe haven space, to be honest, and I just lay there, no noise, no nothing, in this absolute silence, thinking. And this word potential just keep, hitting my thought and thinking around it, and I'm realizing, wow, look at what we go through at times just to be seen, just to be heard. And there are those we're going to get around, those of different culture, different races, different loyalties, different brands, different names. You know what I'm saying? Different tables, different offices, different labels, many connections that are going to, highlight, your process, your processes, your progress, the space where you have to learn and grow and develop, be cultivated. You're going to be within different range of connections, people, resources, you know what I'm saying? Different networking. And I'm learning that this is becoming a popular trend, and we have to be careful. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to finish right here. Be careful who takes notice of your potential. Please. Become more, if possible, discerning and attentive to you. Because I know many of us, especially those of us who are writing in ministry, the young breeds who are coming up with zeal, fervor, vigor, and that whole desire, because of you're feeling the burning incense in you to become. You would want to sit down and be careful, because not everybody out here is pure. You understand? And you've got to be careful with where you allow the potential within to have access and be accessed. Where you allow your potential to serve. Be careful. It's not always about rising to become the next big thing. Through the eyes of many who watch you, they're already seeing the capitalization of your sonship. And sometimes it's not even with the best interest to get you one step closer to God. It's to build their empire. Sit down, take note, be observant, study your life. Because the potential you have is here to serve you. Yes, it is here to serve others, but it will never allow you to forsake yourself to please anyone above God. Be careful, be wise. And when you allow your potential to have that open door, know that with surety you are confident in who you are. And stand up. And even if at the end, when the abuse becomes too much, sometimes your best way of escape is rebellion. And I'm not talking about rebellion that is rogue. I'm talking about the righteous rebellion that will cause you not to sink yourself in the abyss of where your potential may not have the right to return. Be careful, okay? Stop, think, listen, pray. Because you are worthy and you are worth it. And your day will come when your potential will reach more than what they tell you you cannot do. Through the one who called you. May this bless you, may this help you. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.